Gilmer cheerleaders very happy tonight. They got the big win over Henderson. All right, we stay in Class 4A right now. Jacksonville, boy, they always seem to find their way into the playoffs some way, some crazy way during the final 2 weeks of the season. Same thing again this year. Tonight at home against Nac, a win there. They get in. Andrew Black trying to do some damage early in this one as he does a little play action right here, but wild play. Jaquez Yarbrough hits him. Ball falls right into the hands of Jabrayli Gardner. Big defensive play. No score on the return right there, but Damon Johnson, who has just an incredible year so far. Damon Johnson on the quarterback keeper, that would make it 7-0. Andrew Black comes roaring back with his own quarterback keeper, so that would tie it up 7-7. This little combination right here, Damon Johnson. Beautiful ball right here. Timmy Williams hauls it in, keeps his feet in bounds, and then dives in for the touchdown. Nacogdoches retakes the lead 14-7. Watch Andrew Black right here. Nothing to his right. Good job by his line, punching out the defensive lineman, then lobs it up to Daryl Menifee. What a catch by Daryl there. 14-14 as we are tied once again, but Damon Johnson and Tim Williams hook up again. These two guys are like Montana to Rice tonight. That would make it 21-14 at the half. And Jacksonville wins this game 42-21. That is your final score. So Jacksonville in the playoffs. Other 4A scores, I'm going to read them off to you real quick. White House wins 49-24. Hallsville beats Pine Tree 34-7. Roy City 14-9 over Mount Pleasant, and Texas High over Texas Canada defeats Sulphur Springs 48-38. All right, it's been a wild night, so we got to get to the man who's on top of it all from the Tyler Paper headquarters. It's our own Chase Colston, who joins us now live. Chase, we just got an update on Jacksonville. I'm sorry, John Tyler with a big win. Kind of break that one down. Don't break it down for us. We're going to get Harold on the phone, but they did just win this game in 3 overtimes, right?
That's right, Eric. Greg Ward scored on a 19-yard touchdown run in the 3rd overtime to give John Tyler a 55-49 win. Just a wild game where Ladarius Anthony just did all he could for Kilgore, but JT was just too much in the end.
Staying with 14-4A now, Chase. We got Jacksonville getting it done over Nac. That gets them into the playoffs.
It does. I think Jacksonville's going to have a good hold on that 3 seed, depending on what happens next week. It looks like Kilgore's going to be the 4th team with them. It's just it's a little tough to see what's going to happen for next week. But John Tyler won his district title tonight, and White House has got a solid hold on 2nd place. And Jacksonville's in. You got to be happy with that with the new quarterback.
And plus, Chase, real quick, Henderson Gilmer. Let's get your take on this. I picked Henderson to win this game, but give props to Coach Traylor and his son Jordan and the defense forcing 7 turnovers tonight.
Oh, that's what's unreal. Dale Barnes had, I think, 2 interceptions on the season going into this game. He threw 4 tonight and lost 3 fumbles. And Gilmer's defense was just all over the place and just forcing Henderson to make big mistakes. And that's 2 big losses for Henderson in a row. Gilmer's got their foot on the pedal for the district championship. And this is a strange game. Thought it'd be a little closer than 15 points, but this is what you kind of expect with teams in that district.
All right, Chase, we'll bring you back in here to get you update on everything else in East Texas. Right now, the Lyndale Eagles had a big victory over Van, of course, last week. Tonight at Canton, trying to get that outright district title in 14-3A, but we all know Canton wasn't just going to give it to them. Here we go. Canton quarterback Eric Walters gets sacked big time by Jesse Hobbs. Looking like Sean Lee of the Cowboys right there. Big play for the Lyndale Eagle defense. Josiah Johnson is in at quarterback, not Clay Price, but all this guy needs to do is snap it to him and let him run. Big play right there as they get it done. And that would lead to this trick play, but Trey Acey stuffed by the Canton Eagle defense. No touchdown right there. 0-0 until Walters hands off to Reese Sumner. And this cat can run, folks, up the left sideline. 65-yard touchdown. Canton over Lyndale early in the first, 7-0. Trey Acey trying to come right back. One of the stronger runners we have in the area here in East Texas. And what a job blocking up front by that big Lyndale line. He takes it up the sideline for a big 35-yard gain. At the end of the quarter, so now we're in the 2nd quarter, and Clay Price is back in, and this is what you want. Throw it up to Josiah Johnson. What a play right there, getting him to the goal line. DeMarcus Lynch, another strong runner for the Eagles. He punches it in, making it 7-7. Lyndale would go on and really turn up the heat here. 52-21 is your final score. So Lyndale in the driver's seat. Let's go to Carthage at Gladewater. Carthage pretty big favorites to win this one after they beat Henderson, but Gladewater fought tonight. They always do at Jack V. Murphy Stadium. Darian Gregory in for the touchdown. PAT no good, 6-0. Nick Johnson now, as Gladewater has the ball back, gets a little greedy here. Didn't see Justin Williams, and the big guy gets the interception and gets a block from his man, number 1 right there. He takes it in for the pick 6, so we are tied 6-6. Carthage has the ball back. Blake Bogan shoots. Star quarterback finds his star receiver, Edward Pope, for the nice play right there. And then they don't score, though, but Gladewater airing it out again, but picked off by Edward Pope. This guy does it at wide receiver and corner. He's not an Army All-American for nothing right there. Does some damage after the run, and then when you make a play like that on defense, of course, you've got to give him some love on offense as Bogan shoots, gets it to his man, Edward Pope. Beautiful catch and pass into the red zone there. They would get a field goal out of it. 16-6 is your final score. Good fight by Gladewater, but Carthage gets it done. Okay, another important 17-3 game we had tonight was Brownsboro hosting Bullard. We got the sports editor of the Tyler paper, Phil Hicks, with us. And Phil, while they're probably at the bottom of this district, a lot on the line tonight, and Bullard gets a big win.
Yes, Bullard really came out and played a great game, and they beat Brownsboro 42-0 and stayed alive in the playoff race.
What kind of stood out to you by the Bullard Panthers tonight, Phil?
Well, it's really a combination. Colton Mebane, the quarterback, was a very efficient 8 of 9 passing for 189 yards. And then they had their rushing attack, Houston Alexander and Tanner Smith. They combined for nearly 275 yards rushing. And then on defense, Jess Wood had a fumble recovery and interception.
All right, Phil, congratulations to those Bullard Panthers there getting a big win, keeping their playoff hopes alive. Scotty, let's pop up the rest of those 3A scores if we can. Van, close one tonight, Wills Point, 28-20, they get it done. Quinlan Ford, 48-0. Spring Hill over Pittsburgh tonight, 26-12. Rusk over Athens, 38-3. Center and Huntington, Center wins 43-0. Fairfield, 44-20. Last check we have over Groesbeck. Madisonville and Palestine, it is 35-24. Palestine winning, and then Westwood leading Mejia 14-7. Let's go back to this Van Wills Point game. Kurt Kitchens of KTBB Radio and the Tyler paper is with us now on the phone. And Kurt, how did Van respond after kind of a very disappointing night when they lost to Lyndale last week?
Yeah, quite a different game, Eric, this week. Van came out, gangbusters, first 3 possessions of the game scored. Sid Moore pass, 9-yard pass from Garrett Smallwood, 9 yards to Kobe Rucker. Then a 66-yard punt return from Rigo Lemus. Looks like it's going to be a blowout. Wills Point fights back, though. Dolphin King gets a touchdown. Van scores another run. Wills Point actually scores 2 more. They have a great little running back, Maxey, who scored on a 5-yard pass from King and a 3-yard run. That cut it to 28. Should have been 21, but Van blocked the extra point. Kept it 28-20. Wills Point tried the onside kick and did not recover it, so Van ran the clock out and survived.
Helps out Van there, no question about it, getting a big win. Hey, Kurt, I appreciate the time, man. Be safe getting back.
Thanks.
All right, Kurt Kitchens there with us. All right, let's take a break right here on the ETFinalScore.com football show. Harmony and White Oak in a big one tonight. Des Nugent was there. We'll be right back.